Hey everybody, how's it going today? Rocky here, talking about some putting basics that I think are really important for all players to utilize and to reference if they're ever having issues with their putting stroke. Beautiful day out here in the fall in Michigan. Got a lot of players out here soaking up the day, and I thought it'd be a good chance for us to get a little bit more time outside. And some of these things that we're going to talk about are things that you can take with you this winter and work on in your own homes. If you've got a turf area or some carpet, any of the concepts I'll talk about here today, you can apply towards the turf outside while we have it, or inside in your own homes if you're willing to put in a little bit of time during the winter. A lot of players tend to have setup dispositions that are a little bit out of the realm of neutrality. And what I see a lot of times with players when they set up down the line, I'll see the handle sitting very low, where you'll see the putter grip come out from behind the forearms. Occasionally you'll even see a player who sets up with their hands very high and the heel off the ground, and the putter grip would break through the forearm this way. When you watch players on tour, the best players, in fact, almost all the players, will set up with a shaft plane and a forearm plane that will match up. When you set up this way, as you can see, from my elbow down to the putter head is a singular plane or a straight line. You don't see the grip exposing itself beneath my forearms or above my forearms. You'll see my arms in a position where I've created a singular line from my elbow all the way down to the putter head. When you do this, there's much less manipulation of the club head and the club face throughout the entire stroke. Setting up with this basic single plane dynamic between the shaft and your forearms creates the most simplistic way to deliver the putter head back and through with the most minimal manipulation needed. So the question may be, what happens if you do set up in a way in which you don't have a singular plane between your shaft and the forearm? Players that set up with their hands low and the toe in the air, much like with the full swing, when the toe is in the air on the full swing, the club face tends to rotate more and the ball tends to miss more to the left. That same result tends to happen on the putting green, even though there are a lot less moving parts. Similarly, when the heel is in the air, just like when you're striking a golf ball on the range or in the full swing, when the toe hits first, the face swings open and players tend to miss it more to the right. The very same thing happens here with putting, because the club face does indeed open and close. There's a little bit of face rotation that happens on every stroke. Even the players that are aiming for a straight back and straight through type of an approach will still see some face opening and closing throughout the duration of their stroke. So if you're a player who sits with their hands really low and you tend to make strokes the ball doesn't tend to do that so much. You tend to miss more left. Or you're a player who has the handle very high and the toe up in the air, and you tend to stroke the ball in a way that would miss more to the right. You might want to try to employ this single plane type of a setup, which will minimize face rotation, maximize the squareness of the club face and the path simultaneously, and give you an opportunity to make a ton more putts.